Welcome to Walking with Jesus Bible Study. We are going to be in the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 6. And this is Jesus speaking. But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. I'm going to repeat that. But I say unto you that in this place is one greater than the temple. I'm sure that if we was there during those times, we would have been just as amazed as the disciple was when they was describing walking away from the temple. Just as all the Israelites were every time they went to the temple. They was very much impressed. In fact, they took it to much great offense when Jesus told them that if they was to knock down the temple, that he could rebuild it in 3 days. Jesus right here in this verse is telling people that he is much greater than the temple. Now, not only is he saying that he was the temple at the time, but he is even greater than the temple. It was a marvelous, marvelous building to behold. Gold. All the precious materials that was used. But that temple was nothing but a shadow compared to who God was. Compared to who God was. The reason why I say was is because I'm referring to him as being Jesus on this earth. Because God is alive. He's alive. He has been and always will be. For all of eternity, for all beginnings, there is no end when it comes to God. The only things that come to his ends is such thing as those temples, our fleshly bodies, this world, this earth. Because he is greater. He's greater than any and everything. How many of y'all just, when you see certain places throughout all over the world, just how wonderful and marvelous and very beautiful it is? There's some very beautiful, amazing things in places in this world that was untouched by man, and it is just simply, there's no words to describe it. No words to describe it. We're just shocked and just like, man, God is greater than all that. God created it all. It's beautiful. It's marvelous. When you look at certain waterfalls and stuff like, you're just like, man, that's just powerful. And the one that created it is most powerful of all. God in all his power, in all his beauty, and with all his intelligence, and all his authority, and all the things that he has control over, decided to come down and be something as small as we are, to become flesh, to walk among us, to be almost as equal as us. And the reason why I say almost as equal, because he put himself in the position to be equally like us, but we do not compare to God. So I say as an almost equal. But he did that for us. God is so massive, so hugely massive that the earth The earth, the whole world, is his footstool. A footstool. Picture a footstool compared to the whole world. The size is no comparison. But yet God, as big as like the whole world compared to a footstool, decided to make himself as small as like a footstool compared to the whole earth. I mean, up there we are like not even ant size, but pretty much. Yet he chose to make himself walk among us. That's how much love he has. That's how much power he has. That's how much compassion, how much grace, and how much mercy he has for his children. That he decided to come down so that we can see how much he loves us, so that we can understand, he's got to. He didn't have to do that. By no means. He's God after all. He doesn't have to do anything. But the fact that he did that just to show how much he loves us is more powerful, more amazing than any beautiful sight than we could ever imagine. There is no more powerful love than that. God truly, truly, truly loves us. He sacrifices daily. Daily. We all talk about the ultimate sacrifice that he has done by suffering and dying for us. But we forget that each and every single day, he continues to keep sacrificing for us. We continue to keep breaking his heart. But yet he continues to keep letting us live. We mock, we curse. God, this whole word that he speaks to us in this Bible is truth. And yet we're very quick to turn around and listen to another person tell us what they think he is saying versus in what he is saying. How silly are we? And yet we sit here and argue over it all the time. We're so quick to listen to everybody but God. And he does the most. He's the one who's speaking the truth. It's his story. He is speaking to us about his story. Nobody knows your own story. When you go to have something to happen to you and you go to tell somebody the story, nobody could tell it better than you because you're the one it happened to. It's your story. But yet we refuse to listen to what he is saying and is quick to listen to everybody else. A lot of people say that God doesn't speak to them, but he does. All the time. He's constantly speaking to us. We're just not listening. A lot of us ain't listening because we just can't quite hear. Because we can't get past ourselves to hear. Most people can't get past the world to hear God. He's not forceful. He's not going to make you do anything. God is about freedom because he's about love. We have the freedom to choose. So he's knocking and he's speaking to you quietly. We hear many times where people sit here and talk about, and even in this word, how his voice is a thunderous voice. In which it is. In a heavenly realm. Showing his mighty, powerful nature. How awesome he is. But when he's speaking to us, he's speaking to us very quietly. Very gentle. Very lovingly. Very patiently. Man, we speak of God's grace and we speak about his mercy. But can we just appreciate how much patience and tolerance he has for us? This is a mighty, mighty, mighty and powerful man. And the amount of patience and tolerance that he has for us is simply amazing all in itself. That just speaks volume. Everything about God speaks power, speaks mightiness, speaks love.